In today's video, I am going to explain pathophysiology of concussion. From another video, I said there are two places that take a lot of shearing force. Shearing force is like a horizontal vector force, and it's like two different vector of force is applied. That is called shearing force or shear. Then I said Thalamus and midbrain are two major places that take a lot of shearing force. Number one is thalamus, and next place is midbrain. This part is thalamus, and this part is midbrain. Quick review. What is function of thalamus? It's basically a terminal of sensory system. Almost all sensation goes through thalamus and is projected to a certain area of cerebrum like this. Basically, thalamus is gateway of sensation. What about midbrain? There are many important tissues in midbrain. There are two cranial nerves in midbrain. Number one is oculomotor. This is cranial nerve 3. Next one is trochlear nerve. Trochlear nerve is number 4. Cranial nerve number 4. Oculomotor is number 3. They are important for eye movement. Plus, there are a lot of important nervous tissue pathways in midbrain. Plus, there is important tissue such as substantia nigra, which is important for smooth movement. Anyhow, thalamus and midbrain are freaking important place. Then, from now on, it's gonna be my hypothesis. This is totally subjective opinion. Why shearing force is applied to thalamus and midbrain? Here is my idea. Here is how I think. There's membrane inside of cerebellum and cerebrum like this. This membrane, this connective tissue is called dura mater. Particularly this part is tentorium cerebelli. Tentorium cerebelli. This membrane kind of separates cerebellum and cerebrum. If you follow this membranous connection, it is very close to midbrain and thalamus. What happens if your brain takes a lot of stress this way, anterior posterior or posterior anterior or side to side? Maybe this membrane puts a lot of stress for midbrain and thalamus. I don't know, other structure can create stress for this area. Maybe occiput. Occiput is very close to this area. Bony structure may put stress in related area. Of course, that can happen. Then my idea, my hypothesis is also dura mater is involved because membrane system. Dura mater is kind of my favorite structures. So I like to think about brain structure with membrane. Anyhow, this is thalamus. This is midbrain. Tentorium cerebelli is close to these two structures. Then there's one more important membrane that kind of separates right brain and left brain. It's like this. This blue structure is called falx cerebri. Falx cerebri is kind of longitudinal structure. Tentorium cerebelli is kind of a horizontal structure. Then falx and tentorium kind of meets around here. Thus, there is strong correlation between falx and tentorium. What happens if your falx cerebri gets tight? Maybe this tightness may affect for tentorium cerebelli. What happens if tentorium cerebelli gets tight? That may affect for falx cerebri. Then these membranous structures are very close to thalamus and midbrain. Of course, for other brainstem structure. Anyhow, this is my hypothesis. Maybe dura mater, structure of dura mater may affect for biomechanics of midbrain, thalamus. Then if you combine information about concussion, now This is how I think. You can see many ways to see pathophysiology of concussion. I have to keep repeating, this is just my hypothesis. This can be wrong, this can be true. So please take this information as my personal opinion. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe. See you next video.